how do you go from the one extreme of being down 31-3 in one game, and then the same game, same players, same place, turn it around to where you guys were literally inches from actually winning the game, if I recall?
It was a little. If I could run, we would have had a first down and maybe had a long field goal because I tried to run it, which I never did. So I think this is a lesson that I've learned that I can apply to life. Courtney thinks I should write a book on it, like kind of the art of the comeback or whatever it is, which has already been done. But for I almost got benched too, because we were down 28-3, I think at half, and then we went down 31-3 in the third quarter. But we went in the locker room, and I remember I was getting booed from the Florida State fans. They were like, "You suck, get him out of there," whatever. We go in, and I remember Bobby Bowden was having a conversation with Mark Richt, and they were discussing, do we make the switch? Do we go to Thad Busby, who was my backup? And I remember Mark Richt told me this after the fact, but I knew what they were doing. I was like, oh. And Mark Richt came up to me. He's like, we're going to give you one more series. We're going to see how it goes. He's like, but you need to play better. And so we kind of played a little bit better, but in my mind, it was, and the message kind of to my teammates was, we can't get embarrassed. We can't get embarrassed out here on our home turf. So I was like, let's just do what we can do, and it's one play at a time. And it sounds so cliche, but really that was all we could do, because you can't throw a touchdown that's worth 28 points. You gotta, so it was just make it respectable. It was just go out there. Let's try to execute. Let's not get embarrassed. And it was one good play, and you try to add them together, and hopefully it comes up to a bunch of good plays, which results in something. I never thought for a second that we would come back and tie that game in the third quarter. Not for a second. But I felt like we were doing we didn't score in the third quarter, but we were moving the football. We weren't going 3 and out. I wasn't throwing interceptions. I think we missed a field goal that we were in field goal range. So we drove the ball a little bit. So I didn't get benched. I was hanging by a thread every series. And then we got a couple breaks, and it just all of a sudden momentum. And I know there's a lot of analytics people don't believe in momentum. I think it's a very real thing. And a lot of it's mental, the confidence of seeing things work. You believe, and all of a sudden it makes things work better. All of a sudden you believe things are going to work. So you start to execute better. But it was just one play at a time. Let me do what I'm supposed to do on this play. If it works, great. If not, what's the worst that could happen? We were already down 31-3. It can't get any worse. So let me try to just plug away. And it just was kind of this mindset of just every play, do my job, see what happens. And we started to get some success. We scored the first touchdown. And I didn't celebrate any of the touchdowns in the game in the fourth quarter, because my mindset was, let's just keep going back and do it again. We have to go back. Defense, that was all I was doing. Every series, with the first touchdown we scored, I went over to the defense and said, get us the ball back. We'll see what we can do. Get us the ball back. And they did. Second series, it was 31-10. We get the ball. With that series, we scored in 3 plays. That was all of a sudden it's only 2 scores and there's still 7 minutes left. Then it started to become a little bit more infectious, and the crowd started to get it back into it. But it wasn't a celebration. It was, get us the ball back. Give us another opportunity. And we did. And then it was we're going to score. It's just a matter of, can we beat the clock?
Yeah.
And that was, of course, what ended up our downfall, because we couldn't get there. But I think it's been a lesson for me, because I've had a lot of financial setbacks. I've had some other losses. I've been cut from, fired from other jobs. And it's, what can I do today that's going to build just a small building block, whether it's saving a little bit of money, whether it's, if you're working out, just do a little bit to get yourself a little bit better. What can I do today? And then you start building those blocks, and hopefully they build up into something. Like my first broadcasting gig that I did with ESPN, I was calling games on ESPN3. It was their only all digital content. I made $800 a game. And that first year I did 10 games. I made $8,000. And I was in a place financially where I needed to make more money than $8,000. But I was building blocks, and people were noticing, and, the higher up saw me and was like, oh, he's pretty good. So it presented more opportunities. So I just it's been a lesson I've learned from that comeback was, just keep plugging away and keep pounding. And a lot of it's cliche, but I do think it works. You got to take it one day at a time.